In this video, we're going to look at 5 ways you can drastically speed up your workflow using Ableton Max for Live. And showing you how to do this is my friend Mert, and he's an absolute wizard at Ableton. Now, of course, I'm not suggesting for a minute that there are actually wizards of Ableton roaming this planet. But if there were, Mert would be one of them, maybe even the king of the wizards. So without further ado, let's look at these 5 Max for Live workflow tips, jump into the door, and get it done.
Hey, this is Mert, and in this video, we're gonna learn 5 different Max for Live devices in Ableton that will change your life. So let's go. The first device is very simple but very effective. If you want to add an EQ or compressor in a track in Ableton, you always need to go to this browser over here and search for the plugin and just double click it, or maybe even drag it into the channel to add the plugin. Or let's say you want to add a VST plugin, you need to go ahead and search the plugin by the name and click all results, then you can go ahead and add the plugin. But this is too much clicking for me, and I always like to be efficient as possible and as fast as possible. So there's a really cool Max for Live device that lets you add plugins by just one click, and it is Shortcut Buddy. It is this device over here. So let's just get rid of these EQs over here. We can put this plugin in any channel we want, but for me I like to keep it in my master channel over here. So as you can see, the interface is very clear and very simple. We just need to add plugins in this text over here, then we will assign a keyboard shortcut to the plugin. So let's say I want to add Ableton's stock EQ in this plugin. What I can do is I can go to the audio effects channel. So this is the tricky part. If you just go ahead and drag the EQ8 in the plugin, it just doesn't work. You can't see the EQ8 over here because this plugin only accepts ADV format. And what I mean by that is, if you go ahead and click this arrow in the EQ8, as you can see, there are some presets. So basically you need to make a preset in any plugin, then you can add the plugin to the Shortcut Buddy. If that sounds confusing, let me just show you how it's done. So let's get an EQ in this channel over here, and like this is the default EQ, right? So what I can do is I can go ahead and click this save button over here, and I can save it however I want. As you can see, I already saved it because I use this plugin a lot in my productions. So after we save the preset, then we can go ahead and drag this preset in any section that we want. Let's go ahead and drop it on the first section. And now, as you can see, the EQ8 is over here. So now we need to assign a key to this EQ over here. And what we can do is we can go ahead and right click to this circle over here and select Edit Key Map. Now I'm gonna just select my Q key in my keyboard. As you can see, it's now assigned to this EQ over here. And I'm gonna just go ahead and click Edit Key Map again to quit it. So now let's say I'm working on my drum channel. As you can see, the Shortcut Buddy is in master channel, but it doesn't matter. Let's say I'm working on my drum channel and I want to add an EQ to this drums. All I need to do is press Q, and boom, just like that, the EQ is over here and I can play it however I want. Let's say I want another EQ, I click Q again, and as you can see, my EQ pops up again here. As you can see, it's super fast and super efficient. So let's go ahead and add a shortcut to maybe OTT as well. And as you can see, OTT is already a preset in Ableton from multiband compressor. So I just need to go ahead and drag it in like this. Then I just need to go ahead and assign a W key like that. And if I press Q, an EQ pops up. If I click W, my OTT pops up right like this. Let's say you want to add a third-party plugin for this device. What you can do is you can just go to plugins, and let's say I want to add 2A from Waves. What I can do is I can go ahead and open it, then save the preset, default preset like that, and then go ahead and drag this in like this. So if I delete the plugin and if I assign my E key in my keyboard like this, when I click it, it just adds the plugin like this. So this is a very simple and very fast way to add plugins in your tracks, and honestly this saved a lot of time for me, and I hope it does for you as well. The second Max for Live device is Granulator 2, and it is an amazing granular synth in Ableton for Max for Live. It will help you create very unique and amazing sounds, and you're gonna learn how to use it right now. This is a synthesizer, so we're gonna need a MIDI channel like this, and we can go ahead and add the Granulator 2 Max for Live instrument over here by double clicking it. So as you can see, this is the interface. It can be a little overwhelming, but trust me, it's very simple. The plugin needs an audio input to work. It can be a synth, a drum, or even a song. So for this tutorial, I'm gonna use my own song that's not released yet as the audio inputs, and it sounds something like this. So as you can see, this is the drop part. What I can do is I can cut this drop part over here like this. So we will be only working with the drop, and I can click Command and J to bounce it. So now I can go ahead and drag this in to my Granulator, just so. As you can see, this is the audio inputs of the plugin. So I'm just gonna go ahead and drop it in like this. So this is the WAV file, as you can see here. Let's go ahead and delete the reference track, and we can play with the Granulator. So right out of the box, it sounds like this. As you can see, it's so repetitive, and we're gonna play with some knobs to really make this sound unique. The sound starts to get slower like an LFO, and if I just turn it on, it makes the whole sample way faster, as you can see. And the spray knob basically determines the randomness of the file position. So if you play the sound and adjust the spray, you will notice the instrument will get some samples from the right and left sections of the yellow bar. And finally, we can go ahead and adjust the spread knob over here to make the sound stereo. As you can see, like that. Now let's go ahead and try to make something unique from this synth. We can maybe turn off the drums and just use the metronome to really dive into this synth. And we can even go ahead and make the BPM around 120. Let's go ahead and make a MIDI clip like this and add a note. Maybe 1 octave down. From now, I will just play with the file position to find the best spot for this sample and use the spray to add some randomness. So I really like these settings over here, and this sound really sounds unique. What I can do is I can add a kick, then sync this to the kick as well. Let me delete the samples here as well. So we have kick and the Granulator. So now the first file position sounds great, and what we can do to add a sense of rhythm to this randomness is we can add an LFO tool and just make a basic pattern to make it groovy. So the first file position is going to be this one, so let me just automate it. So this is the points over here, and we can change the second file position. And we can just experiment with it. And we can even get this 1 octave up so we can hear it better. Now we have a basic understanding of the Granulator. We can go ahead and play with the spray and grain even more to really fit this kick groove to the instrument. So it sounds very nice, and what we can do is we can add an EQ and boost the high frequencies. Also, we can go ahead and add an OTT. So I added some hats, claps, and very simple bass, and now this is how it sounds like. As you can see, it's super simple, but it sounds really unique. Just go ahead and experiment with this plugin, and I'm really sure you can make something amazing out of it. The third Max for Live device is Swiss Army Meter, and it helps us see the LFS of our song very easily in our master. All we need to do is add it in our master channel. This is the plugin. So let me just drag it in. So now, as you can see, the interface is very clean as well. So if I play my song right now, we can really see the LFS of our song over here, which is -14 right now. So if you are using Ableton's limiter or any limiter of your choice, you need to put this plugin after everything so it can show the correct LFS. So if I'm aiming -14 or -8 in my master as LFS, I can just use this limiter to boost the volume, and I can see the LFS over here pretty easily. As you can see, the plugin shows the integrated LUFS over here as well and the true pick for your masterings. So if you're making your own masters, this plugin is a very good visual representation of the LUFS in your songs, and I really love how this is connected to Ableton. So if you are making your own masters as well, this is a really nice tool to add to your library. The third Max for Live device we're gonna take a look at is plugin wrappers for sound toys, Valhalla, Arturia, and more. We all love Valhalla vintage reverb, right? And when we add it to any of our tracks, it just looks like this. It's basically a plugin window that's standing out of the Ableton, right? There's this really cool integration with Valhalla Vintage Reverb, Arturia plugins, Soundtoy plugins, and bunch of plugins as well, and it's basically a wrapper for Ableton. So what I mean by that is, let's take a look at this wrapper over here. Well, let me just delete the Valhalla plugin, and as you can see, there's this Valhalla Vintage Reverb Max for Light device, and when I click it, as you can see, it loaded the plugin in this little window, which is integrated with Ableton. So now I don't need to open the plugin to control the parameters over here, and I can just use this macros over here to control the plugin. And the good side is it is exactly the same with the plugin. So if you want to open the bigger version of the plugin, you just click this tool section over here, and the plugin opens up itself. The mix is at 40%. Let's take it to 20, like this. And if you take a look at the window here as well, it is exactly the same. So if you get it to 100%, the plugin is actually 100%. So let's go ahead and add some reverb to this Granulator over here with this Max for Live device. As you can see, it works perfectly without any issues, and I think it looks very cute. And there are a bunch of other plugins that are wrapped for Ableton as well. One example is Soundtoy's little altar boy. As you can see, it instantly loads here as well, and it looks so cute, and you can control all the parameters here without any issues. And when you control this parameter over here, it automatically controls the plugin window as well. Also, we can add decapitator like this, or maybe you want to add Valhalla room reverb. As you can see, they all work and look perfect. I think this is a really fun way to adjust the plugin parameters in your projects, and you don't need to open the plugins one by one to see the settings of your plugins. There are a bunch of plugins that are wrapped for Ableton, like Valhalla, Soundtoys, Native Instruments, Kilohertz, Analog Obsessions, and you can use them however you want, and I think it's a really nice touch to add some fun in your Ableton sessions. The fifth Max for Live device will make your vocals sound smoother and make your edits way faster, and it is called Clip Gain. So let me just open the Clip Gain in my master channel, because I want everything to be stacked together. So this is Clip Gain. As you can see, there's this gain, pitch, and all functions over here, as well as warp and crop. The main function we're gonna use is this gain button over here. So let me just close this browser and zoom in this vocals. As you can see, the vocals is not really balanced. We can see a pop over here, maybe a loud part over here, and a quiet part, and a really quiet part over here. So normally, if you want to adjust these parts, you need to cut them, then double click on the clip, and go to this gain over here and adjust from there. Also for this one, we need to crop it, then double click it and adjust the gain from here as well. Well, I don't want to go down here all the time, just edit one word, because in Pro Tools and Logic this function is very simple, but Ableton doesn't have any function like this, so we can use this Max for Live device to make our lives very easy when we edit vocals. I just need to go ahead and right click on this gain section over here and press edit key map. So let's say I want to control this pop over here. It sounds like this right now. As you can see, the word but really stands out and I want to control it. So what I can do is I can just crop it like this, then press the keyboard shortcut and the gain window will pop up, and I will just bring down the volume like this, and I will press the keyboard shortcut again to get out of this window. Then I will make a crossfade like this, and let's take a listen. It's way much better now, and it's really easy for me to control the clips. So basically the plugin won't work if you select this area and press the keyboard shortcut, and if you try to adjust it, the whole clip, as you can see, is adjusted. So instead we need to crop the clip that we want to adjust, then press the keyboard shortcut to adjust the clip. As you can see, this tool makes our lives way more easier, because now we don't need to go all the way down to the clip and adjust the volume, and we can just edit all the gains like this from here without any hassle. These were the 5 Max for Live devices for Ableton. They definitely changed my life and they definitely made me a faster producer and efficient producer. I hope you love them as much as I do, and I hope you will use them in your productions all the time. If you combine these 5 devices in one project, you will have a lot of fun and you will get more faster. Again, I hope you liked everything and see you in the next video.
So there you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. A massive thanks again to Mert for recording this video, and if you enjoyed it, let us know in the comments below which of these 5 tips are you going to find most useful in your workflow. Now, I made a video a few years ago that focused on 5 workflow tips specifically on finishing music before you got sick of it and capturing inspiration as and when it hits. It's an oldie, but it's an absolute goldie if I don't mind saying so myself. So if that sounds good to you, check out this video here for my 5 best workflow tips in the universe right there.